ShartimusPrime. Reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it, taking bad hits, taking bad shit.
Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here doing another Marvel Legends review on the Marvel Legends 60 Amazing Years Renew Your Vows 2-pack of Spider-Man and Spinneret. Gotta be honest with you guys, when Renew Your Vows first came out, I saw it as an easy cash grab. This is kind of like the Battle World alternate universe of Spider-Man and MJ staying together, living happily ever after, and having a child, Anna May Parker, and going on as superheroes, as a superhero family and everything. And what I described was the 2.0 version. There was a 1.0 version, and I was surprised that those books are as popular as they are. I need to go back and read them. I actually did read the first issue of the 2.0 version. But anyway, these figures look amazing. On the top, you can see that it says Spider-Man 60 Amazing Years. Not much more at the bottom. And if you're trying to get your Marvel Legends figures, you can do so at big. Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below. And here is Spider-Man and Spinneret out of the packaging, and oh my goodness, these look incredible. Now I did add spaghetti webs over here, so they do not come with their webbing, and I do have very minor gripes. I mean, very minor gripes, but I will discuss those and the things that I really do like about these figures. But first, let's get a closer look at the accessories. So while the set doesn't come with any webbing, which I wish it did, it does come with 2 head sculpts for each character. You got your crawlers, thwippers, and punchers for each of them. The thwippers over here for the female figures, always just a little bit off angle. Maybe not so much on that side. I feel like maybe on this side right here. That's this side right over here. You can see how that's just kind of just shooting out to the side instead of forward, whereas this side, you can see it's just shooting forward like that. So looking at Spinneret over here, who got her powers from the Regent suit that had absorbed powers from Spider-Man and transferred over to Spinneret over here, I don't really like the approach with this head sculpt. It's the same head sculpt that they used from the MJ head that came with Gwen, but this one has a little bit of that photoreal paint over it that makes it just look a lot more realistic. This one, it looks like they regressed, and it just has that weird plasticky doll face look, and I don't know why, but I like this one so much more. Of course, the red hair color is a little bit different, so yeah, not a big fan of this particular head sculpt or the paint on it, but you do get another one, and this Spinneret head looks great. I like how the teeth look over here, the lipstick, the eye socket paint, or the eye mask paint anyway, looks great. I like how the hair came out. I am very, very pleased with this. My only real gripe with this figure is I don't know why they used this particular upper torso body. It seems like they have several of these, and this is the one that came with the Age of Apocalypse Rogue that has the cape port right here and the back port, so that irks me a little bit, and I'll get into the articulation a little bit later on, but I did get very clean cobweb pattern paint apps over here. I do wish there is a slight shade of blue throughout, like that is an old school Marvel Legends thing that we don't really see too often nowadays from Hasbro. I do love the pinless joints. Very happy to see them using the new Shriek body parts. We're also seeing that on the legs over here. Again, all the cobweb patterns came out really good throughout on the figure for me, so I got lucky with this one. Again, I just missed that touch of blue. I do see that in the comic references, and again, I love the pinless joints right there. The nice looking cuffs, and the feet look pretty good with that cobweb pattern as well. Now with the Peter Parker head, they went in the opposite direction. This one does have a lot more of that photoreal tech kind of paint that you can see right here compared to the other Peter Parker head that we got in the previous 2-pack. And you can see, yeah, this has more of the doll face kind of look to him. This one has more of the detailed, realistic look with the paint right there on the mouth. The eyes look more realistic. I like how the hair came out right here. Same sculpt as before. And then we also get a new Spider-Man head sculpt, which I think looks fantastic. It does have a pizza Spider-Man kind of look to it as far as the design goes. It's not the same exact head sculpt. They do look similar, though. but yeah, they're not the same. And I think this works. I do like this, and I really like how this figure came out. Now, we are seeing the same upper torso reused from the Vintage Collection Spider-Man. I just think the logo is just a bit too big over here. Like, when you compare it to the Vintage Collection figure, which I have right here, this one, I guess, may have looked a little bit too small to the design team, so they wanted to make a bigger one. I thought this was unique to Renew Your Vows, but I checked the source material, and it is not! This is just an oversized spider logo. So a minor gripe, but a gripe regardless. And similar issue right here on the back. You can see the spider logo just looks gigantic, and there's some gappage right there with the legs. Also, another very minor gripe. I just wish they added an extra line right here in the butterfly joints. It stands out a lot more here on this side than on this side, but I feel like it's just missing one line. But getting those little gripes out of the way, I gotta tell you guys, I absolutely love this thing. It looks fantastic with the pinless joints right here. I think it just looks great. And then same thing with right here with the legs. Pinless joints right here. Wish they added maybe a little bit of blue shadowing effect. You guys know I love my blue shadowing effect. That's one thing that we don't really get on the Hasbro figures that we did get on the Toy Biz figures. Of course, we have the added toe joints right there, and they don't flop down super easy, which is great, and you get peg holes at the bottom of the feet. I also wanted to add that the cobweb pattern here looks really clean. Like, it's very consistent and clean throughout on my figure. The articulation, you can get Spinneret's head to move all the way up, all the way down, just forward and back like a pile driver, turn side to side. You get good head pivoting right there. Shoulders move outward and above the 90-degree mark. You can move them inward all the way, rotate a full 360. Bicep swivel, pinless double jointed elbows. Yes, and then all the hands turn side to side and hinge up and down. I do wish we had a better ab crunch. That's one thing that the female figures are just really missing, is some really good ab crunching, because she only just kind of shifts and slides downward at the diaphragm joint. Moving backwards, though, it does move back a whole lot more, so you get some pivoting right here, and of course the rotation. Then the hips move outward that much, and she'll kick forward and back a tiny bit, upper thigh cut. Beautiful pinless double jointed knees. Then the ankles do move down, they do move up, and she has beautiful ankle pivot. And then the Spider-Man figure, same articulation right here at the neck as the Vintage Collection figure, so you can see that, you know, we have the cut in the back, so he will move upward that much. I'm not seeing as much gappage as I did with the Vintage Collection figure, but you can still see it right over there. You can turn the head side to side, you get the good head pivoting right over here. You have the butterfly joints, shoulders will move out and above the 90-degree mark right there, and you can move them down, rotate fully right there, bicep swivel. And then we have the pinless double jointed elbows, and I just wanted to compare that with the Vintage Collection figure, and it looks like these new elbows are actually bending in more so than the Vintage Collection figure, right? I don't know, is that exactly the same, or do we get more movement with the new figure? I think we're getting more movement with this one right here. More range of motion is what I'm trying to say. God, it looks so much better with the pinless tech as opposed to the pinned tech. Man, what an improvement. Very happy to see that. And then the wrist turn side to side and hinge up and down. Diaphragm, swivel, diaphragm pivot, crunches forward right there, back, and then you get the full-on ab crunch with both joints moving back and forward. And then you get the drop-down hips, and you can move the legs outward that far. I feel like I'm not getting as much movement with the splits right here compared to the Vintage Collection. Yeah, I do get more range of movement with the legs on this guy compared to this one. Now, maybe because I've had this for a lot longer, and I've played with it a whole lot more, but it just initially, right off the bat, I felt like I got more range of movement here. Okay, they're both doing the Glenn Webb pose, and yeah, I could see a little bit more range of motion right here with the older version compared to the newer version, by just a little bit, not a whole ton. Anyway, the legs could still move forward, back, upper thigh cut, pinless double jointed knees, beautiful calf rotation. The ankles do move down, they do move up. You get beautiful ankle pivot, and finally toe articulation on the Spider-Man Hasbro figure. Oh man, so happy to see this. And you can make them flop down if you want to, but they don't easily do it. It's not like they drip down there like that on their own super easy. So yeah, very happy with this. Hope to see it in more Spider-Man figures, or just Marvel Legends figures all around. Now to measure out these two figures, you can see the Spider-Man is standing just under the 6.5-inch mark, and Spinneret over here is standing at around the same spot, I guess, just a little bit shorter. And for a size comparison, you can see we have Spider-Man and Spinneret next to Mary Jane and Peter Parker. And I will show off several head sculpt swaps over here, but first I wanted to show off the older MJ head on the new Spinneret body, because this is my preferred MJ head, and that looks really nice. I do like it. It looks really good. And then I'm going to, of course, put on the newer, better Peter Parker head, and yeah, that looks good too. Then for the only Spider-Man comparison I'm going to show off in this review video, we have the Hasbro First Appearance Spider-Man, and we have the Hasbro Vintage Collection Retro Card Spider-Man. I will say, I do like the slightly lighter blue, a little bit more so than this darker shade of blue, but not enough for it to really bother me. And I really do like all three of these figures, but yeah, this is my favorite one out of these three for sure. And I did want to show off some head swaps. First off, I wanted to get the McFarlane Pizza Spidey head sculpt right over here, which was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. I think it was the Raft exclusive Spider-Man head. I wanted to show that off on there, and I think that looks great. If you love that head sculpt, I think that fits on there pretty well. I like that. So that looks really cool. And then to see how a Vintage Collection Spider-Man head looks on this, the reds may not match 100% perfectly, but I think they are close enough where if you liked this look enough and you wanted that on this Spider-Man body, that could work for you. I don't know. It could work for me. Maybe not the very best, but not the worst. And then we have our first appearance head sculpt over here that I have to try and see how that looks. And that doesn't look bad either. Again, like the red's not matching 100%, but it's close enough to me where it's not a huge issue. So yeah, I don't know. I like how this works with the other Spider-Man heads. And then here's Spinneret. Next to her body mold mate, we have Shriek over here. Well, except for the upper torso, of course. This one has all the anatomy definition, and this one doesn't, so I guess that's why they went with this upper torso. Then for a Marvel Legends Bests comparison for Hasbro, we have what I consider to be the best interpretations of the characters from Hasbro Marvel Legends. We have the Amazon 4-pack Defenders exclusive Daredevil, I almost said Deadpool, and then we have the Apocalypse Build-A-Figure Waves Wolverine, and then we have the 20 years anniversary Captain America and the 80 years Iron Man. And I don't know if this is everybody's best, but these are my favorite versions of these characters from Hasbro. And I just wanted to see Daredevil just right next to Spidey right over here, and they do stand about the same height. I guess Daredevil is just a little bit shorter, but only by a little bit. Ah, what a liar. I have two other Spider-Mans I'm going to compare it to. This one right here, we have the Pizza Spider-Man. I had to show them off side by side because, you know, this body mold's been one that they've used a lot. And plus, the head sculpts have a very similar design to them, you know. So, yeah, I do like both of these figures. Of course, I like this one more so. Let's see if we can do a little head swap. Oh, I can't because I broke this one. That's right. Wait, I have the Vintage Collection Pizza Spidey head, so I can at least show that one off. I'm not going to let you guys down. I will persevere, and hey, that doesn't look too bad. The color doesn't match perfectly, and getting this on here, the head's probably going to look a little big, but yeah. So there's a head swap between the Pizza Spidey body mold Spider-Man figure, or the Vintage Collection version, and we have our new, we have our new Renew Your Vows version, and actually the color looks pretty good right there on the side. Wow, this actually does look pretty good. If you thought this head was too big, well, you could use that one if you want to. Of course, if you want the half-masked head on there, it will fit as well. Oof, it's just a little bit of a tighter fit, but yeah. That's from the original Pizza Spidey body mold, and that looks pretty good to me too. Maybe on the small side, but still looks good. And then for another Spider-Man comparison, here we have the new Spider-Man figure from Marvel Legends next to the Mayfix Spider-Man. So this is definitely my new favorite Marvel Legends Spider-Man figure, but is it better than this Mayfix Spider-Man right over here? I can't really say right now. I mean, it's still fresh. The verdict is still out, but this one out the door around $30, and then this one when it first came out about $75. I mean, this is over twice as much as this one right over here, looking at, you know, initial pricing. So I don't really know, man. The verdict is out. I'll probably make a video talking about it later. I don't know. We'll see. Spider-Man party, yeah! Hey brother, hey brother, hey brother, hey brother, hey brother, hey brother. And then here's the Spinneret and Spider-Man figures. Next to your average 6-inch scale figure, we have the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Hey brother, hey brother. Whoa, wow, you're looking really badass, brother. Jeez. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, show some love by hitting that like button, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. Clicking the things all helps the channel grow, as well as leaving comments down below. And this figure 2-pack set is something that I was just very much looking forward to. As soon as I saw Boog Nice 10's reveal video, I was like, oh my goodness, I need this so bad. I mean, again, I've been asking Hasbro to give us toe joints on Spider-Man. I mean, across the line would be great, but especially with Spider-Man. And I felt like I got teased that in an interview with Dwight a couple years back. So I just was under the impression that it was going to happen, and finally it's here. And I've just had so much fun with it. I had a great time taking photos to the point where I don't remember actually taking photos of the Spider-Man figure or the Spinneret fighting any villains. It's just like the two of the figures just whipping around, having fun. That's kind of where I went with it as far as taking photos goes, but I did take a lot of pictures. Like, I really had a great time with this set right here. And yeah, man, at the price point of around $50, over here in California, I paid $53 plus California tax, and I have to say California tax because it's very high out here. So it came out to around closer to the $60 mark per 2-pack set. If you could find it for like $50, I mean, to me, $25 per figure seems fair. They each come with alternate heads. They each come with 6 interchangeable hands. So at that price point, around $50, I'm going to give this 2-pack set a Sun rating of... Two, please. And yeah, I got myself more than one. Yes, I had to. For me, you know what I mean? Not to Sculpt, but for me to keep. I wanted to get more than one. I'm a big fan of it, and I'm just so happy to have it. And I'd like to know what you guys think. Hopefully, they hit your area soon. If they haven't yet, they will be there sooner than later. So don't pay the scalper prices. Just hang on tight. You'll get your Spider-Man Spinneret 2-pack soon. Anyway, again, let me know what you think in the comments section below. And if you want to follow me on... big thanks to MCU Collector 24 for the lead on this, by the way. He found him out here in California first. So thanks again, MCU Collector. But yeah, if you want to follow me on social media, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and whatnot. And I will catch you guys later. Peace!
That's crispy.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't.
Your face.